The broadcast is live.
We're doing it live.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
are we
hi.
live? Hey.
I didn't see you there.
Oh.
I don't my YouTube didn't notify me that I'm live. Oh, there it is. There it is.
There?
Yep.
Hey.
Watch live now.
Oh, wow.
There it is. There's an
Hello.
ad and everything.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
This
is great. We're at more than 8 frames a second, which is amazing. And we're live.
Hi.
This is awesome. Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I didn't realize I was going to get to interview the CEO of Twitter today. It's a beard. It's a beard joke. You look great. You look great.
Does Jack have a beard?
He does. It's very similar to yours, actually.
Oh, but what does his boyfriend have to say about it?
But I think he has shorter hair. Hair.
Okay. No one liked my beard joke. That's okay. I've been watching too much Arrested Development lately.
Okay. I didn't even catch it because I was busy making my own jokes. Occasionally sharing them. All right. Is anybody here? Can we tell? That's
Squid Kitty's here. Hello.
I am not used to
Gamer
this
Astral.
working.
Hello.
I am not used to this working. Hey, Squid Kitty's here. Squid Kitty, congratulations.
Yeah. Oh yeah, congrats.
Congratulations on your engagement. That is fantastic. Congratulations. We are doing well. We are actually live again. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, together.
It has been what?
It's been months.
It's been years since we've been able to get the video feed working live. I think the last time was one of the conventions or something like that. So
you might be right. Actually, I'm looking back. Our aborted attempt was May 2nd, 2020.
Whoa.
Our live show at No Brand Con was in 2018.
Yeah.
So the last one we did was June 30th, 2019.
Oh my goodness.
I think that was right before, because I think Google Hangouts for Air sunsetted in August that year.
Something like that. That's the last time we had success doing this. Although we've attempted it, 4 or 5 times?
Yeah, it's been a few times. So if you guys have been watching any of our live shows, it's been recordings of Skype, which we then later uploaded and then did as premieres so that you could still chat, but it's not the same. So
it was all a lie. It was all a lie.
It was also 8 frames per second, and then for some reason, my editing software, or maybe the codec that Skype used, the sound would never sync up, and so we uploaded 1 or 2 of those like that, and then I tried so hard to get it to sync up, and it's just like, no, this is dumb. I want to be live anyway. I'm not wasting a weekend on this anymore. So cool. Well, hello, Alucard. If we're all here, let's just get going.
So this is gonna be one of them podcast things, right?
Yeah, I've heard.
I remember doing something like that, but I think the last time we did that, your beard looked like my beard.
Yeah, in Wisconsin, they give you one when they get off the plane.
They do, which shows that I haven't been to Wisconsin recently.
Well, I haven't left Wisconsin for quite some time. There's this whole pandemic thing. I don't know if you heard about it.
Have you left the basement during that time? I just imagine that you're there. I just imagine that you're there all the time writing manifestos.
Oh no. Is my background too distracting?
It's neat.
I'm gonna pick a color and stick with it. Did it do it? All right. I think it did it.
The color is the color of no. The
I should
color
pick
of
a more obvious color.
There you go.
Yeah.
No.
There's an orange one.
Ooh.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one I want. All right. This is a Sansi light thingamajig. It's a smaller version. I actually got it for free, and I got it about a year ago, and I was supposed to do a video about it, but I only found it a few weeks ago, and I've been using it in the Pile of Shame live streams.
Well, there you go. I watched part of your Pikmin one.
Oh, thanks. The sound, the audio was out of sync for most of that. I'm pretty upset about it, actually.
Yeah, but dang, you were actually there though.
Yeah, it was working otherwise.
Yeah.
Into Jesus. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, no lag. This is great. Like I don't know why this works and like the video and audio don't go out of sync, but like whenever I try and run things off the machine, it just doesn't. We have some suggestions for a streaming rig, and we're going to take them very seriously.
Oh.
So
it's good to take things seriously.
Yeah.
All right.
My camera keeps flickering about the brightness it wants to use. That's very interesting. Is it distracting to anyone else?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
My light's as low as I can get it.
Yep. Question coming in from Squid Kitty. The important question: are those new glasses? And the answer is not very new, but that might be the first time they've been seen on video, just because of how long it's been since we've. I got them about 6 months ago. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. We're newish to video now. It's been a while.
I know.
Okay.
One of those video phones that I've been hearing so much about.
Yeah, it dictates. It's like talking to the watch.
Hey, Satoshi's here. Hello,
Satoshi.
Okay, so I guess we're going to start the podcast portion of our show rather than the we're so surprised this actually works portion of our show.
Right.
And do you have a way of bringing it in, Sean?
Well, let's start our recording first for the audio version.
Fine.
I mean, we could probably take it from the video, but I like having a backup.
No, let me get the audacity.
Oh, the huge manatee.
Still my favorite anything. All right, hold on.
It's my favorite Rocky callbacks too. Although it's a little mean, actually, come to think of it. It's not my favorite at all. I'm sorry I said anything.
Blue snowball. Okay. Let's sync up the recording. Give me a countdown.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh.
We
have Audacity.
We are going.
Audacity is happening.
Okay. I'm gonna do a countdown because I can, and that'll help me later when I'm trying to like do the timestamps on the video version.
Okay.
So yeah. Now if I can only find it. If I can only find where the countdown is. There it is. Okay. This is a built-in StreamYard countdown.
Okay. I want to see
it. All right, here we go. 30 seconds.
Show me it.
Hey, you know what though? I forgot to actually talk to you about how we're going to bring it in because you asked me and then I just jumped right over it.
Didn't realize. Okay.
Okay. I have some notes here about how video game sequels aren't like movie sequels.
Yep.
And technical improvements and customer feedback.
Okay.
Usually leads to better games and more money to make them.
All right.
So then we'll go over the sequels, some good sequels, back and forth for a little bit, and then I'll mention one that we disagree on, and I think you know which one that is. I don't want to spoil it for our audience.
There's a couple, but I'm willing to roll with the punches, and then I'll give you one that you disagree with.
Okay. All right. Let's try this again. Okay. All right. Is it going to start from 30? I think it is.
Probably.
All right. Here we go.
Okay. Here we go. That was really dramatic.
I know, right?
All right.
Hey, Vinnk.
Hello. Welcome to Famicom Dojo. And thank you so much, Mr. Reeves, for taking time away from filming John Wick to join us today.
I mean, I haven't actually seen any John Wick yet, but here's something like about a dog. I don't know.
What? You haven't seen John Wick? What? You should at least see the movies you star in, Mr. Reeves.
All right.
I
mean, there's like a Matrix 4 coming out, I hear.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hi Vinnk, how are you?
Hi. Oh my goodness, we are live.
Yeah, this is our first show of 2021.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
My New Year's resolution is to do more than 6 shows this year. I think that's about how many we got done last year.
Oh no, we got
10,
like
10,
10. We got
10.
10. We were doing one a month pretty well for a while, and then
Yeah.
the future retro fall
Yeah.
interfered. At least this way, if we're doing it live again,
Yeah.
then you'll actually be able to watch and listen, and it'll be up on YouTube, while we slowly begrudgingly get it up on iTunes or wherever podcasts are downloaded.
Yes. But
as we
I mean,
as we say.
but don't worry, if you're listening to this right now whilst doing your laundry, we didn't forget about you.
Oh no.
Sorry it took us so long to get it up.
That's what you know what?
Yeah, there's a joke in there, but let's move on. Yes.
Let's just keep going. So been spending some time in largely self-imposed quarantine, been playing a lot of games, and it got me thinking about game sequels and how they're not like other sequels. You know how movies sequels used to be a bad sign, like you run out of ideas, this is terrible, man. Right?
Yeah.
And-
I can see that, and that's how it's. But yeah, sequels are usually worse than the original product. Maybe Godfather 2 was quite good. There's definitely some, but yeah, usually it's just kind of a cheap cash in. But games don't follow that pattern a lot. In fact, a lot of times the best game in a series is the second or third.
I mean, I think there are some reasons for that. There's like feedback about what made the game popular. There might be more money to make the game more like they want it, and that's still true today. Even back in the retro days, and even more true now, especially for indie studios that roll out an idea, and then maybe they are able to make the game they really wanted to make.
Yeah,
and it has a 2 at the end of it, but it's really the first one. More or less. I feel like Terminator 2 is kind of that way, That's the first sequel I can think of where it's like better than the original, or at least bigger.
Debatably Aliens rather than Alien. Although I still prefer the first movie. I think it was more interesting, but the second one was definitely a bigger hit, and there was definitely more money involved. Yeah.
I personally have a soft spot in my heart for Karate Kid Part 2, which if you're watching Cobra Kai this season, comes into play.
Yes. More on that later.
Yes.
Much more.
Maybe another show.
But I will say that I am a man who would fight for your honor. I'll be the hero that you're dreaming of.
Oh.
I better stop now.
It's
so close to the original. People are gonna be like, we'll never buy the original again because the version Vinnk put out right there, that's the definitive version.
We're definitely getting sued then. So,
oh man,
I mean, speaking of good music, though, like there are some video game sequels that I also think are better than the original. Like we were saying, like Mega Man 2 comes to mind. I think Mega Man 1 is unplayable, but Mega Man 2 is amazing. Yeah,
Mega Man 1 is a classic. The Gutsman stage kills me every time, but
literally. I mean, not literally kills Mega Man. You know what I mean?
I know, and it's. I mean, they're all hard. Mega Man games are hard, but the first one, those jumping stages just yeah. And I've never beat the giant yellow guy without using that pause trick.
Oh, sure.
And to tell you the truth, I don't think I've ever beat Mega Man 1 at all.
Yeah, I definitely haven't.
Most of the time, I think I might have only gotten to that point using a Game Genie to keep replaying the Gutsman stage. Oh, that's a hard one. But I've probably beat the Cutman stage 1,000 times.
Sure.
Anyway, we're having a deep Cutsman right there. Okay.
Yeah. The example is like Final Fantasy 2, the actual 2, and then also the American 2. Although arguably most of the even ones are better.
Yeah.
That's a whole Star Trek. Okay, but the Final Fantasy one, no one really remembers that one that well though.
Yeah.
And then of course Zelda 2, far superior to the original.
Just a moment, I gotta. Maybe we're thinking of a different game.
No,
Are
yeah,
you thinking Zelda 2 is A Link to the Past? Is that the 2 you're thinking?
that's Zelda 3, man.
Are you? Oh my goodness. Are you?
Like the Wanda Gamelon? Like what? What are you? No, don't be confused.
That's the Zelda 2 in my mind. There's only the Legend of Zelda and the Wand of Gamelon, and then Breath of the Wild. It's no other ones in between there. Are you?
Majora's Mask.
Are you thinking of this one?
Oh, that's the one. Link no Boken.
Link. The Adventure of Link is better than one of the best games ever made.
It's foundational to the rest of the series. It's an amazing game.
You are error.
All right. Let's hash this out then. What do you?
Okay, you've got the Legend of Zelda, just a classic, top-down, really memorable music. It found this action RPG formula, like puzzles and things like that. And the next one is like a bad platformer. Oh, them's fighting words. Oh, that's a hot take.
That's a spicy take. All right.
Okay.
No. All right. Counterpoint.
Yeah. Okay.
NPCs, towns, magic system, and something that's not Ganon for once. I mean, he's kind of in the background, like literally, but like the NES version is the only one we actually like see him. So you only visit Ganon again if you lose, right? Like you only really have to worry about it then. So
okay. Oh, but it was just like there was this thing in like when they tried to make sequels to successful things. They're like, let's change the perspective to side scroll. They did the same thing with the East series. East 1 and 2, really really good top down games, and then there's like let's put the sequel on the side. I think maybe Zelda 2. I mean, I enjoyed it when it came out. It has really good graphics. The music is still memorable. There's some really fun things, but it is so hard. Like it is so incredibly hard, and like I think harder than it needs to be. I don't know.
Is that it? It's just a hard game. I can see that.
I mean, maybe it's just because I really felt like the first Zelda, because there was almost no instruction of what to do. I didn't have the instruction manual. I had a loose card of it. So I didn't know, I didn't have any maps or know exactly where to go. So it was all about exploring. It felt like the first like open world type game to me. And Zelda 2, I mean, there was the map, but it really did just feel like get to the side of the screen.
Yeah.
I think that was my main thing. And like random encounters. Like sometimes you're like, I know where I gotta go now. Okay, I gotta keep fighting these, and you could fight and you could get experience that way, but like I don't know if Zelda necessarily is the type of game that you want to use grinding for,
Oh snap! Oh, those are all good points. Okay, all right, you've convinced me. Much more interesting topic.
All right.
Disappointing video game sequels. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? It's fun to criticize things. Let's do that.
Well, all right. I'll hop on the hate wagon with you for a little bit because I understand that Zelda 2 isn't perfect.
Okay.
But at least you can beat it without a Nintendo Power. Well, for the most part, you can get a lot more of the way without a Nintendo Power. But okay, I agree. The random encounters not great. The grinding also not great.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a lot to be said for how much the game was improved with the NES cartridge version over the Famicom Disk System version.
There is. Yeah.
There's a lot to be said about that, which made the grinding a little less grindy.
Yes.
Just a little.
It also made the random encounters a little less random because at least you saw the type of enemy you'd be facing.
Yep.
So that's something. Yeah.
You had less of an idea with the other one. That's true.
For those who haven't played the Famicom Disk System version, you know what? That's another episode.
That's a whole topic. That's a whole video, man.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
But you're right. Like the game does kind of mostly boil down to go to the right.
Yep. Yep,
go to the
yep.
right. Although, from your perspective, go to the right. Go to the right.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
in Japan, so everything's reversed. Okay,
Fair enough.
sorry.
Fair enough. But yeah, we got Satoshi in the chat here mentioning that the music is amazing. It's even more amazing with the wavetable synthesis.
Yeah, I love the original Zelda theme, the start screen theme and the overworld theme, but the startup screen with the sword and the mountain
Mhm.
on Zelda 2 just chills. It is really, really good. So there's definitely good things in Zelda 2, but um let's meet in the middle there and say
Okay.
that it's definitely worth playing, but like to call it better than the first Zelda is what,
Okay,
yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
I'm maybe a little bit of hyperbole, but it's definitely important. And then
Yeah.
you you get to the Super NES finally, and it
Yep.
goes back to form,
Yep.
that's basically how Zelda has been uh, ever since.
Yep.
The original had sort of side scrolling bits where you'd get the I'm trying to like motion so that with the camera can see me. You get the
Yeah.
items and stuff in the dungeons, but that was it, right?
Yeah.
I think Link's Awakening, which for those who don't know, for whatever reason, there's
Yeah.
the Switch remake now, and that use a lot more side scrolling elements, probably to better effect, to be perfectly honest, to the point where they deliberately threw in Mario elements. So, but I want to say one of the lasting bits from Zelda 2,
Okay.
apart from the magic system,
Yeah.
uh, is the lore about advancing like 100 years between like links and stuff. There's like multiple links and multiple
Uh,
Zeldas, and that's in the manual. If you didn't have the manual, you didn't know this,
I did
right?
not have the manual.
Okay, okay.
I had very few manuals actually, because usually most of my game collection was like the ones that the supermarket was selling,
Uh-huh.
like the previous rental ones,
Uh-huh.
and those usually they were in like that. Here, I'll show you what kind of case I'm talking about. You'll remember this. Like this kind of case.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Whatever.
That
And now
there
I don't think I
that is
have.
enshrined in the art for one of our podcasts.
Yep. And I don't think I have.
Great
I
game,
don't
by the
have.
way, too.
Oh, Skater Die. Yeah, it's a good game. For those who can't see, I'm holding up Skater Die, and I'm holding up one of those like heavy duty plastic cases. Now, often right here, they'd have like a sticker with a like abbreviated manual, because they stopped putting the manuals in the games because people just lost them.
Right.
So you'd have like a one-page thing that didn't tell you enough about anything to really do anything. And I don't know, it made it less appealing to steal, I guess. So a lot of the games that I had in my collection as a kid were those, because
Gotcha.
a new NES game was, I don't know, $45, something like that. And the ones that the grocery store, yes, because I used to rent at the grocery store, were getting rid of, they were 10, $15. And for me at the time, I was like, it's the same thing, so.
Mhm. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to get this straight now. I don't have the manual for my original Zelda 2 copy anymore either, and
Okay.
I have the Japanese one, but heck if I can read it. But I believe it's one of two things or both, that it's either, I think it's the same link from the first game.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's supposed to be the same link from the first game, but the Zelda who is asleep is from
Yeah.
like 100 years prior or longer ago, and it sort of
Yep.
established the thing that there's this hero of Hyrule who rises every
Uh,
100 years, type of thing. So I don't know if it also like shifts forward and goes back at the same time. I'm not really sure, but then you go to Link to the Past, which by its name implies that it takes place before the first game, and it
yep.
does. And in that story, if you read the manual for that, it also has a prototype for what becomes Ocarina of Time, where these 7 wise men sealed
Yep.
off Ganon
Yep. Yep.
in the sacred realm, but he corrupted it. So you play Ocarina of Time. That's basically the game, the same game. And so you're running around trying to find the descendants of these seven wise men,
Huh.
or artifacts from them.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
So Ocarina expands on this, and then the official Nintendo timeline fractures it all over the
Yeah,
place.
it's all It's all mixed. It's all mixed up right
It
now.
was a lot of fun trying to figure out what actually went where before they did that. But anywho, all right,
Now
that's enough about.
they ruined the surprise.
That's enough about
All right.
Zelda 2, though.
Right.
You got
But
one?
I will say though,
Yeah.
that other than the CDI games, in my
Oh
personal
Lord.
opinion, Zelda 2 is the weakest link.
That hurts. That hurt me.
I'm
Why
sorry.
would you hurt me on my own?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
In my own house.
You know I tell bad jokes. I was
Yeah.
on Japanese television doing that very recently.
Yeah, that was such a good bad joke. I loved it
Oh,
so
thank you.
much.
Thank you. I'm very pleased with that. If it ever goes up on YouTube, like in an official way, we'll put up a link somewhere. But
Oh boy.
I'd upload the stream that I have, but like I don't want to get a copyright strike. So
Oh, you got another game on your mind?
oh my goodness.
I'll surreptitiously send you a link or send you a list.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Email it to you. There we go.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
talked about that earlier. Yeah.
We totally planned this in advance, or didn't
Oh
plan
yeah.
anything in advance.
Yes.
I gotta find my window again.
We are prepared.
We are recording.
We don't. We're better taped.
We're always better taped.
I mean,
that's true.
Did you send it to me?
It's emailed.
Oh, okay. That could mean anything. I'm not used to using Chrome. I don't usually use Chrome.
Oh snap! I guess you got to log in again, huh?
No, I'm good. All right. Okay. Here's one that's probably less controversial, but
Okay.
I think a lot of people would share this opinion that a disappointing sequel for a lot of people was Super Mario Brothers 2. Now,
Super Mario Brothers 2 or Super Mario Brothers 2? Or both?
Depends who you ask, really.
Okay.
I mean, I was referring to let's see if I've probably got a copy around here somewhere. I don't. Well, it's back there somewhere. I was referring to the Famicom Disk System version of Super Mario Brothers 2, but there's definitely people who probably felt that Super Mario Brothers USA was a disappointment just because of how different it was. You know what I mean? It's definitely a different type of game, but like I think a lot of people appreciate that game for what it is, even though it wasn't really intended to be a Mario game. I think most people think that it's a cool game and that it was, different and unusual. But Mario 2 was basically just a licensed ROM hack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just like harder Super Mario Brothers. The new elements they added were poison mushrooms, the wind, as to cause interferences with your jumping. But in general, it was just basically the same tile set, same music, same, and it could have easily been the second half of the, if space wasn't such a limitation, if the original Super Mario Brothers had 16 worlds, that could have been it. And
or rather than like repeat certain worlds as they ended up doing.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with Super Mario Brothers 2,
except
but like
that wind.
Yeah. I mean but I think when you compare it to something like Super Mario Brothers 3, which just went above and beyond anything that people expected for a sequel, I think in retrospect, it was disappointing enough that Nintendo of America decided to do a different game. They decided to go a different way because of all the buildup. Not just because, yes, the Famicom Disk System didn't come out in the United States, but it would have been very easy to convert that over to a cartridge. There would have been no particular difficulty. But I mean, it has a place in Nintendo history, but it's one of the few Mario games I haven't beat. I never really felt compelled to beat it.
Yeah, I think I never beat it, but I contributed to basically a relay race, getting to the end at a Geek Con in Madison.
Oh, really?
May it rest in peace. But what you said about it being extra levels does remind me though that it's these days that kind of thing would be considered more DLC, right? Like
Oh yeah.
small variations, and then you just like buy extra stuff, and
Oh
then
yeah.
yeah, it's the same engine basically, more or less the same engine.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I can see that being disappointing. Of course, my disappointment, being from America, is that we didn't
Yeah.
get it at all, and I didn't even know
Yeah.
it existed
Yeah.
until 1992 or three or whatever
Did
it
you?
was.
Well, I had heard about it because I was an avid. I would read the Nintendo Powers I got from cover to cover,
Mhm.
and they were talking about a game called Doki Doki Panic, but it was a short article, and they it's like Super Mario 2 was Doki Doki Panic in Japan, and for years I thought that the full title was Doki Doki Panic in Japan. No, seriously, because I'd never
Nice,
played it. So I
nice.
would be like, "Did you know in America? Did you know Super Mario Brothers 2 is called in Japan is called Doki Doki Panic in Japan?" So,
Lord,
well, I mean,
sure.
like I was like 10. I mean, something like that. But yeah, I guess I mean there are definitely people who are huge fans of the Japanese Super Mario Brothers 2, and the level design is quite good, but I think it just didn't feel like the sequel to one of the best-selling games ever. It didn't have the oomph, but they totally made up for it with Super Mario 3. I
Sure,
really
sure,
really think so.
sure.
So again, just like Zelda 2, I wouldn't consider it a bad game, but
No,
for a very different reason. Zelda 2 was too different,
yeah,
and
it was
Mario 2
hardly the
was
same game at all.
too the same.
Yeah, that is very interesting. That's a great
Yeah.
point.
Yep.
Okay, okay. Let's take a jump forward in time then. A big old jump. One of my favorite games on the GameCube,
Yep.
apart from Eternal Darkness, which
Okay.
now that's a topic for a disappointing sequel. That was Vaporware.
Yeah. Well.
It wasn't really a
Yeah.
sequel
Yeah.
either. Well, anyway,
Uh,
Prince of Persia: Sands of Time was an amazing reimagining of one of my favorite games
yep.
that I played on Super Nintendo. So I was
Yep.
super stoked to play The Warrior Within.
Okay. I got the Warrior Within before I got Sands of Time
Oh,
because
you poor man.
it was on sale, and I was like, "Ooh, Prince of Persia! I hear this series is great." The what? This game is only $10. That's it. It's a Prince of Persia. That should have been my warning right there.
Mm,
And so I picked
mm,
it up, and like they got that opening sequence where
mm.
there's like the princess with no pants, and then there's your protagonist who's like, "I hate everything.
Oh Lord.
Darkness enfolds me," and I played an hour maybe, and I was like, I don't see why everybody likes this Prince of Persia series so
No,
much.
no, I was stubborn. I beat it. I got to the end.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm sorry.
I yeah, no,
Did she ever find pants? Because
no,
I assume that was
no,
like the point of the game.
no.
She looked cold.
There was so much wrong with this game, uh, especially compared to how like tightly told and
Yeah,
implemented. I thought the first one was.
yeah,
Um, the the second one, yeah, it starts with that tone shift, like you mentioned. Like
yep,
it's like a 13-year-old's idea of what a super cool, edgy protagonist should be, and a 13-year
yeah,
old's idea of what like a badass female villain should look like.
yep,
The whole like Empress of Time or Queen of Time, whatever her
yep,
title is, I'm totally forgetting it. Someone in the chat can remind me.
yeah,
Like the idea of that
yeah.
um was as lame to me as I thought the Queen of the Borg was as well, because it's like queens don't work that way
Uh,
in like ant colonies or whatever,
yeah,
bees. They don't work that way
no,
anyway. That's not how it works. So having like a person be the embodiment of the sands of time just upset me, from a storytelling perspective. But like the game itself also, like the gameplay itself also upset me, because like you're thrown into
yeah,
Pantsless Wonder's boss battle first thing, and it's hard. It's so hard. I did, and
yeah.
I made me want to quit right away. But it's like I bought this $50 game at the time. It was
Oof.
50, right? I'm going to persevere. So I got through it, and the level design didn't leave a lot to the like it. How do I explain the first game? I thought was so good because you could look at a level and like wonder to yourself, wow, how am I going to get around that? Because all the platforming elements were kind of like seamlessly integrated into the environment, and it was great. Sometimes like crumble and fall apart. It's like, oh, super cool. But like they made all the platforming in the new game super obvious, and it lost that sense. And so that was also very kind of linear. There wasn't it. I didn't like it. Like all those elements together, it's just like this awful ball of awfulness.
Yeah, and there was another Prince of Persia after that, right?
Two Prince. Darn it! I keep thinking of the Spin Doctor
Two
song.
Princes.
Yeah,
One
that's
is angsty.
Get
so many copyright strikes today.
Yeah.
You know, we should do Podcast the Musical at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Sing everything.
No, that one I enjoyed. It made up for some of those problems, but of course it went off the good ending, or the goodest ending of that game. And it was actually more of a prototype for Assassin's Creed, the whole like sneaking up behind guards and like, slicing their throats and whatnot. Even though Assassin's Creed itself was a prototype for Assassin's Creed 2, another game where the sequel was better than the original.
But that all comes from kind of Metal Gear, though, right? And Tenchu.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Stealth Ninja. Yeah.
All right, you got another game?
Do I? I mean, there's the classics. Like most people consider Devil May Cry 2 to be the worst of the series.
Oh snap! Okay.
But that didn't end the series, you know what I mean? Because Devil May Cry 3 is considered one of the best in the series. So it's but you've got Devil. Have you played the Devil May Cry series?
No, I at that time that was out in college.
Yeah.
When I was in college, you and I were in college.
Yeah.
And I mostly watched like the Tower Lobby crew play that, and it also struck me a little bit at the same aesthetic as Warrior Within, so I kind of avoided it.
Okay. I mean, to tell you the truth, I didn't really play Devil May Cry 2. I liked the first one, but I'd been so forewarned this time about that it was bad that I just didn't. But unfortunately, that led to me not playing any of the other Devil May Cry games until I played some of 4 on PlayStation 3. But that's just one that disappointing sequels. Let's go with here's one.
Okay.
What do you think about the sequel to Castlevania?
Castlevania 2?
Yeah, Simon's Quest. There's definitely 2 schools of thought on this one.
I've mentioned this before, and that like most games, and even to some extent many movies I saw were like and liked better were the second one. So Zelda 2 was the one that I actually owned. I probably would have liked Zelda 1 more if I actually owned it myself. So there's that part of it. I mentioned like Karate Kid Part 2. I liked Back to the Future 2 more when I was younger, but I've since learned the error of my ways. And what's Simon's Quest is part of that, because I don't actually like the original Castlevania game. I don't like getting punished for getting hit like that badly. And it made things difficult. So the RPG elements and being able to progress and not lose that progression was much more favorable to my sensibilities.
I agree. I actually completely agree with that. I owned Simon's Quest and I rented the original Castlevania, but I played Simon's Quest first, and then I went back to Castlevania, and I thought I didn't see what the big deal about it was at the time, but I think it may be the early days of Angry Video Game Nerd has kind of tarnished its reputation, because Simon's Quest does have some strange design choices where, the day and night cycle and things like that, but I don't know. I liked it as a kid. I really enjoyed Simon's Quest, but I think a lot of people are probably listening to this right now and going, "Are you nuts?" I mean, pretty much Castlevania 3 is considered a fantastic game in general, but like Simon's Quest is a little more nebulous with its reputation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like it. I like it.
Quick aside, Satoshi is mentioning
Yep.
that the third Prince of Persia game was Two Thrones, so thank you for that. That should also play Akumajo Dracula, the Famicom cartridge version, which I own. So if it's $500, maybe I should just no, I'm not going to do that.
The Famicom cartridge version of Akuma Joe Drac. Oh, that's really, really pricey.
Is it?
Really,
Dang.
really
Oh,
pricey.
I'm glad.
It's at least $200. Yeah.
Do I owe you anything for that? How's $200 sound, Sean? Yeah. Okay. All right. So that aside, I think the one downfall Simon's Quest has,
Yeah.
is that it does require talking to a lot of NPCs, and even then it's not clear how to progress always. And
Part of
that
it's
I
the
can see
translation too. Yeah.
yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
So it was just knowing how to play it from my
Yeah.
friends. If I played it again today without a walkthrough, I don't know if I could do it, to be perfectly honest. Should add that to the pile of shame though. I've beaten this game before, however. I just haven't beaten it quickly.
I don't think I ever beat it because I played it. I played it as a kid, and there was definitely a point where it got too hard. But like I was just enjoying the whole going around, collecting money and meat or whatever you're doing, talking to people. But yeah, that's an interesting one. Okay, your turn.
All right, I'll mention one real quick because I think we should
Sure.
move on to pile of shame, future retro. But sure. I'm gonna throw out Perfect Dark Zero.
Ooh.
One of the first games I got for my Xbox 360. I loved Perfect Dark. I thought it was a good follow up to Goldeneye and the whole punch drunkenness aside. And I really wanted to work for wow, I forgot the name of the company already. That's embarrassing. Was it Rare? It's Rare, right? I was thinking retro. It's like retro, Rare. It's not retro. It's Rare. I really wanted to work for Rare. But during that transition, they got sold to Microsoft, and they were never the same, to be perfectly honest. No. And Perfect Dark Zero is just so bad. Like I got to through the second level.
Is it really that? I never played it, but
it's
really
pretty.
That bad?
It's pretty. But they make similar tweaks to like the characterizations and stuff, and it's a prequel, as the name implies. So Joanna Dark is like much younger, and she's got like the hair stuff that was cool in the early aughts and mid aughts, I guess, in this case. But I got to the second level, and there's like this drone you got to like fly through, and I just lost it, and I couldn't find the exit for the second level. I'm just like, forget this. The online was no fun. Everyone was Joanna for some reason I don't remember, and like it just didn't click. It didn't slap hard like Goldeneye and Perfect Dark with their awful frame rates. It just wasn't as fun.
Well, speaking of Goldeneye, they made what was it, like Goldeneye Rogue Agent or something? Like
which I have for the Wii.
And I mean, I don't think it was a bad game, but it wasn't Goldeneye. It's like
okay.
So
I thought that it was supposed to be basically Goldeneye just with Daniel Craig swapped out. Or no. Rogue Agent, no, that was 006, right?
I mean, it wasn't made by Rare, and I think so. I mean, it was different. I mean, they're both based off the movie, so there's going to be similarities there. But I don't know.
I didn't realize it was a totally different game. I own it. I just haven't ever played it.
I didn't play it. I mean, I think I gave it to my brother. I know I bought it. But I again, probably not that bad of a game, but you take something that is like a classic, and then sometimes it's just hard to and it might even be a better game to if it had come out during that time. You know what I mean? But like it's disappointing as 10 years later from this game that's a classic.
Sure.
How about? I mean, I did not play it, but the internet's reaction is very disappointing. The Conquer Nuts and Bolts as a follow up to the two Conquer platformers on the N64.
Did you say two
Sorry,
platformers?
not Conquer. Sorry, Banjo Kazooie. Banjo Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie, thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. There's ugh.
The Conquer is a whole other story.
Conquer is another because Conquer is a sequel to
Uh-huh.
Conquer's Pocket Tales on the
Uh-huh.
Game Boy, which was
Yeah.
very cute.
Yeah, which I have, and I haven't really played it either. I got lots of games on
Okay.
my pile of shame. It's real bad.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. Okay.
Satoshi just brings up Mario Sunshine.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great one. That's a
That's a
great
good
one.
one.
And it's
That's a good one.
because it's not a bad game. It's just not the one that I wanted. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
Although it does retcon the whole thing about who Bowser's kids are, which I don't really appreciate.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I never beat it. Like that's one Mario game, like post Mario 3 game I've just never beat. Well, I didn't beat Galaxy or
I
3D
never.
World or
A friend of mine,
you.
my roommate in college, Nathan, he bought that game. That's actually why he bought a GameCube so he could play that game. And I think I played it a little bit, and I've been playing it a bit on the Switch right now. And I don't know, I'm just not getting into the flood mechanic. But I think
Mm,
for some people who it was their first Mario game, love
uh,
it and will continue to love it.
uh,
But I think both Mario 64 and Mario Galaxy are better than it. So
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
my favorite parts of Sunshine were the underground like platforming like classic type
yep,
levels.
yep.
And so like Galaxy kind of went more that way, which I did and didn't appreciate because the whole gravity mechanic was wild. But I feel like Super Mario Odyssey like strikes the right balance with all of that stuff.
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Probably one of the greatest Mario games ever made, to be perfectly honest.
Did you play 3D World?
I own it.
You know, a lot of people consider that a disappointing game after Galaxy 2. They
Mm-hmm.
thought that but man, I loved it. I loved it. And so that's another one that people are very mixed on. And I
Okay,
think now that it's not tied to the Wii U and people are going to have the chance to play it on Switch, I think it's going to get the more love that it deserves. I really do
sure,
think it's a good game
sure.
that just um yeah.
And Satoshi says that the 3D collection they've patched the GameCube controller to work on the
Yeah.
Switch.
Yep. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm gonna
I don't need to.
get in
I don't
get
need
into
to. I
that too
have
much.
it still. It's fine. Um,
Should I drop my hot take now? Should I drop my hot? I mean, it's been all hot
sure,
takes so far. It's
sure.
been
Give me your hottest, spiciest take.
okay. Okay. Disappointing
Mm.
video game sequels.
Yep.
Disappointing video game
Hit me.
sequels.
I'm ready for it.
The Wii U.
Oh,
I mean, okay. I mean, people are going to our archives right now and being like, Vinnk
why?
loved the
Why?
Wii U. Vinnk
Why you
loved
gotta
the
hurt
Wii
me
U.
like that? Why you gotta?
Vinnk loved the Wii U. What are you talking about? What is this
What?
revisionist history?
What is this nonsense?
The Wii U had the most fantastic first party games. The first party games on that system were wonderful. Pikmin 3, Donkey Kong, Tropic Freeze, they
Tropic Freeze is a
had
Wii game, right?
what?
Wasn't Tropic Freeze a Wii game originally?
Nope.
What am
That
I
was
thinking
Donkey
of?
Kong Country
Returns.
Returns. Yep.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time with my kids playing Nintendo Land. I thought Miiverse was fantastic, but like so much of what the Wii U was trying to do was never realized. And it was just like and I think that the Switch kind of made it almost unnecessary. Because I loved it at the time, but I mean, when you look at it right now, coming off the unique ideas and things of the Wii, it just was like, they never even explained well enough that it wasn't an add-on for the Wii, so
I don't get that, because was
yeah.
anyone confused the Xbox 360 wasn't just like not a new console?
When they had, if watch the original trailer again or whatever,
Mm,
and it just
okay.
keeps talking about the new controller, and even at the time I was watching it, I'm like, they said they were going to announce a new system, but is it a new controller? Like, even I'm pretty into this whole thing, was kind of confused or whatever, until in the trailer they showed a box that was clearly not the original Wii, but that looked pretty similar to the Wii, same color, same basic shape. I think a lot of people were initially confused. I don't think, now people say that they lost sales because people thought it was an add-on. I don't think anybody by the time it actually came out thought that way,
Mm,
but you lost that moment of initial hype when people were like, is it's a new system? It's a
mm.
Wii U? Is that the, I had a lot, I had, but I still keep it around because they have not ported Xenoblade X to anything else yet.
Fair enough.
That's my hot take. Did
All
it? Did
right.
did,
I
did,
guess
I,
I
did
guess
we
I
get
guess
any reaction?
I can't disagree with you. Because
Yeah.
so much of what's making the Switch great are honestly still Wii U ports, but no one played them on the Wii U. So is it fair to say that the Wii U was not disappointing then? I mean, I played a lot of those games.
The Wii U first party software was not disappointing, not at
Okay.
all. Again,
No.
some of my favorite Nintendo games came out during that generation. Some of my
Zombie U though,
all-time favorites. Good games, but the third party support was
it was
horrible.
abysmal.
Just the worst. And the and like making it region locked,
Mm,
having even the replacement parts be region locked. Like, Nintendo really went out of their way to make it like, it's one of the few Nintendo hardwares that I didn't even bother playing Japanese games on,
yeah.
because I would have had to buy another system, and it just never, I don't know, build quality was not that great either.
I
Like
suppose.
for me to charge my gamepad right now, I have to like tape or hold
Oh
the thing
no.
because the connection got loose. It's just, I don't know. Then again, Switch Joy-Cons. So
Oh yeah, I'm having a whole new problem with those right now. I don't even want to talk about that, but let's get new ones. It's an excuse to finally replace them, right?
I like how the controller felt though. I
Mm,
really liked that, and I
mm,
loved playing off TV, playing
yeah,
console stuff. But that's the thing. That's why the Switch
is
is yeah, exactly.
um,
But at the time, like, that was amazing to be able to play a console quality game off the TV. That was really really amazing. But anyway,
all right.
should we move on?
Sure.
I want to know in the comments section of the podcast, or even right now, just let us know what comes up on your list. I'm sure there's tons that we haven't played.
Mm,
And what was a game you were looking forward to, a sequel to one of your favorite games that just fell flat? We want to hear it. And
mhm.
cool.
If
Okay.
if we got time, we'll do a Denshimail section here too and
Ooh.
take some of your questions.
Ooh.
Some, depending on the
Some.
time.
Not all.
But all right, cool. Okay, so Vinnk, why don't you hit me with your pile of shame or future retro?
My pile of shame, and you know what? I'm going to consider this both a pile of shame and a future retro.
Okay.
I am going to talk about the original Mana trilogy, which is the
Hmm.
Seiken Densetsu trilogy. So we're talking, I guess in the United States, it would be Final Fantasy Adventure, Secret of Mana, and now Trials of Mana.
The same as the Final Fantasy adventure game for Game
The
Boy? Am
Final
I
Fantasy Adventure game was a repackaged Seiken Densetsu game.
okay?
It had nothing to do with Final Fantasy other than being made by Square. And just so I'm gonna
Hmm.
consider. I mean, I'm gonna consider this pile of shame because I bought both the collection and Trials of Mana, and I have not beat any of them yet. But I will consider it future retro because I will beat them because they are fantastic. They are
Okay.
all fantastic. The music is fantastic. The gameplay is fantastic. And right now I'm playing Trials of Mana in the weirdest way possible. I am playing both versions at the same time. I am playing the remake that's on the Switch right now and the Super Famicom game. I am playing. What is going on?
I'm highlighting you because this is your
okay.
soapbox.
Okay, and I am what I'm doing is I'm playing about an hour of the original 16-bit version and then seeing how the remake reimagines it. It's really a cool way of playing it. Because I feel that if I play through the full remake first, I'm never going to go back to the 16-bit one.
Okay.
But I feel that if I play through the 16-bit one, I will not be surprised by any of the plot points. So I feel that this is the way to play it through, and I am really, oh my goodness, Trials of Mana's music is so good, and this is a game that I hadn't played before because they had fan translations out for a long time, but I never went into it. And you should get this collection, Sean. You really should. Because
okay.
you're a Zelda fan. You like the action RPGs.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason. And I guess I'll mention it now that Willow is going to get bumped up on my pile of shame live streams because I've been prepping to put in the rotation, and I like it so much. I'm going to bump it up. So yeah. All right.
Like, I gotta say, the one problem I have with Trials of Mana, and maybe it's the path that I went with the wolf, the beast man path, and maybe that's why the dialogue's so bad, because he's supposed to be like not very articulate, but like the voice acting and dialogue in the game is pretty bad.
Oh no.
But like the gameplay and the music and like the world make up for it. And I'm just freaking loving that right now. I just don't have a lot of time to play, and so that's why it's on my pile of shame. I got about halfway through the first game, the Game Boy game, which I really like. Like, it's a very simple game. It's an incredibly simple game with very, very sparse story, but it's really, really fun. And I never played it at the time. And it takes a lot for a Game Boy game to, especially a Game Boy RPG to hold my interest these days. But man, I just loving it.
Awesome.
So that's a recommendation, that's a pile of shame, that's a future retro, and I'm saying pile of shame just because I bought them so long ago.
Okay.
And that I'm finally getting around to them now, but definitely future retro, and that's my recommendation right now. How about you?
Excuse me. Well, I have.
Hey, Sarumaru. Sorry, just some people from another Discord I'm on are invading, and that's wonderful.
Okay, come on over. Hang out.
Come on.
It's fun. We're having fun here.
Come on. All right. Okay. So do yours.
Yeah. All right. So kind of pile of shame itself is a concept I've been trying to revive because I liked doing the pre-recorded versions, and late last year I was doing the ones that I was streaming at the same time as I was recording them. But it's like, man, it's a lot of work. I don't think I want to do that a whole lot going forward unless there's like a really specific reason I'm going to do it. So for those who don't know, we're doing those streams weekly this month of January 2021 for those who are listening in the future, and then see how that goes. But in doing so and testing that, I was playing a short hike, which I did sufficiently excuse me tickle in my throat. I did a sufficiently good overview of that. I don't feel like I have to go back to it, but the entire time I played a short hike, I kept having like this like impending, like sensing creeping doom feeling, almost like PTSD from playing Night in the Woods.
Okay. So you were expecting it to get darker or
so Yeah.
I need to pick that one up. I really need to pick
Yeah,
that one
play
up.
Night in the Woods. I played it on recommendation from Trey, I believe. Our podcast overlord. Hi Trey, how's it going? We haven't
Hey,
gotten our customary 199 yet today. Maybe he wasn't able to make it.
maybe not. Maybe not.
Um, but so I did those streams. And then I did two about Night in the Woods. That caused me to pick it up again. Was
Yep.
doing two more streams about it. So I hadn't played it in about a year, maybe more. And I only got to the part in the story where like it was just this creeping sense of doom and not like a direct doom. So I hit that during the stream, and of course I had to finish it after that point. So I was pretty close to the end by then. And for those who don't know, Night in the Woods is about a town of anthropomorphized animals. Oh god, what's the name of the town? I was going to call it Radiator Springs.
That is from Cars. That's okay. That's okay.
Oh Lord. The main character is May. And she is now a college dropout. She's also a cat. If you're into that sort of thing.
Most of the cats I know never finished college.
Just the coolest cats, you know what I mean?
just the cool cats.
Just those ones. But you don't know why she dropped out. And it's kind of like pulling teeth for a long time to get any answers out of this. It's almost like an ennui simulator, that's like walking simulators. Now it's like I'm walking through life, but I don't care simulator. Kind of thing.
Engaging.
Well, the titular kind of like a short hike. It's not just one night in the woods. The hike is pretty long also. So that's the more similarities there. But eventually you like reconnect with old friends who are like stuck in this dead and dying town. And you learn more or less that there's some Cthulhu like stuff happening. Spoilers. Or maybe there is. There's
just one tentacle.
There's enough there's enough ambiguity that maybe it's not really happening.
Okay.
But people think it's happening. It's like one review I read said it was like boomers versus millennials. The whole like economic ruin thing. You got the old people who like
let them fight.
Yeah, more or less. This town is dying. It's falling into a sinkhole. There's literally a sinkhole in the middle of town. Stuff like that. So I think it's a good game in retrospect, but it was really hard. I stopped for a reason. I'm like, I don't feel like this is going anywhere. It's like I wasn't a disaffected youth in my 20s.
Okay.
So I couldn't relate to that. But what happened when I was an adult, like the economic the housing market collapsed. So that's when I was 28, 27, 28, somewhere around there. So I didn't go through that. Like the worst thing that happened to me was like I bought a house that was underwater on when I sold it. And I bounced back. But like imagine happening to you like during college or before college or right after,
Yeah, I don't know. I was a college student and then I moved to Japan. Like I don't know.
Japan's been in a recession for like 100 years or something like that, right? So it's fine. You're used to it there.
I never lost myself because I never really found myself. I'm just kind of
drifting along. Yeah. Yeah, the people who are like 10 years younger than me and work even I don't get them sometimes.
Yeah.
What can I say? And they're listening to this podcast right now, probably too.
By the way, I'm so happy that you started streaming games. That's really good. And I want to let everybody know that I'm going to begin my Saturday night streamings again, and I'm going to try to use this thing.
Ooh, I'm gonna zoom in for you. There you go.
Thank you all for your contributions. That I have a capture device right now, and I need to get everything else set up. But I'm going to try to do that. You know what? Can I give one more recommendation for a game today?
Yeah.
Okay. Can everybody see this? Sean, I don't think you have this one yet.
What? It's so reflecty. I can't tell what it is. It is
FX Unit Yuki.
What?
This is a brand new PC Engine game. It is a platform game and shooter, and it is absolutely fantastic. This is available
Okay.
for PC Engine, and it's available for Dreamcast. And the one who made this game is in our chat right now, and Sarumaru is a super cool dude. And if anybody hasn't played this game, are all versions still available, Sarumaru? I know the Dreamcast one is there. I've seen it in the store, but this is like, it could have happened. It could have been a game made during that time. It's a CD game, and look at that. They've even made like a spine card for it. It's
Wow.
very, very cool. I supported the was it I believe it was a Kickstarter way back in the day, because I just wanted to play it, and it is just fantastic. So Sadamar, if you drop a link in the chat, those on the podcast, just search for FX Unit Yuki. It is super, super neat.
Cool.
Sean, I'm gonna get you a copy of this game.
All right, yeah, please.
You should play this on stream, because
all right,
because I'm not good enough at that type of game to beat it.
Am I? Did you watch me play Bart versus the Space Mutants? I thought I got through level 1 in half an hour. It was an hour. Okay.
All right. Okay. Do we got some time for a little bit of Denshimail? A little bit Denshimail.
Let's highlight Chris Fratz here first. Thank you for the donation.
Thank you,
there.
Chris. Yeah. Chris, thank you very much. That's what keeps this going. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank
man.
you. And if anybody wants to, we have a Patreon, and you stick around long enough, you're gonna get a T-shirt. Let me show off one of our cool T-shirts.
Now I feel bad. I haven't done the next round. I missed the 2020 round. I was supposed to do that back in October. So we'll do 2 rounds this year. Everyone who pledged last year and isn't at that level anymore, you'll get your T-shirt. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Let me pop on over here. Okay. And I'm going to bring up a question from not the stream, from not the people here. So I went through our YouTube comments as well as our emails to get a few questions that we can pepper in here, and this is one I wanted to address. We did a video about Super Russian Roulette, another Kickstarter game, was for the NES. Does anyone know where we can get a copy? If anyone on the stream knows, please let us know. What I found in my short little research was that there are no official copies anymore. If you go to the Bat Lab Electronics website, they say they're sold out. There was a website that says they are selling it for $55. I'm not sure if they're official, if they're repros, or what those are.
Frankly, you might have to go to eBay now. And I feel so bad because I was putting my copy of it up on the shelf, and I put another game next to it, and something fell, and I have a scratch on the outer case now. The cartridge is fine, but and I was like, I wonder if I can get just a replacement box. But yeah, I came to the same thing. It seems like everything's sold out, which is crazy because it's really good. So if anybody hasn't watched our Super Russian Roulette video, you should. It's amazing. That game is incredible from a technological point of view. Just amazing.
Right.
All right. Good question though. Sorry we have no great answer to it.
Cool. If no one's got a question in our chat, let's move on over to Discord. I need to find, where the heck did my phone go? I need to find the actual question because I didn't write it down. So I'm gonna go to it.
Preparation.
This is embarrassing. Well, I was prepared. Yeah, man.
I can read it. Yeah.
I have to find it though. It was an older one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's not a bear. That's not what I'm looking for. Hold on. Let me go to the. It was from Kanacha. He was asking about the Super NES hardware.
Yep.
But I gotta find the question now because it was really good. I just forgot to write it down.
Do you want me to read it?
if you found that already, please by all means read it.
I'll just read it. Okay, Konacha says, there is one question that just popped into my head, and it is a real question. I remember back on an older video or podcast that you were going to talk about how the SNES would have been able to play NES games, and there is still some hardware in the SNES for that. Are you going to make a video on that, or was that just a fever dream I had years ago? Is that the question you were referring to? Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna do this a little bit right there. Bam. Right. Yeah, that was not a fever dream. That is a real thing. Basically the short version is the AV Famicom and NES2 exist because at one time Nintendo was planning on doing sort of a combo unit with the Super Famicom during its early development. It was even demonstrated as such, and there was an article in Famitsu about it. And that's something that we learned when we were ready to do the Super Famicom episode, like back in 2012, when we had gone through our fourth script revision.
Was that? I mean, we've written it and rewritten it.
Yeah. So there was always an intent to do an NES2 AV Famicom review. Kind of like the original Famicom review that we had done. But then we learned this piece of information. It's like, oh, we got to work this in. Excuse me. So we had contacted someone to actually like kind of redo the art from the Famitsu article because we don't want to get sued.
Yes.
And that was 2013, I want to say. So it's been a while. But we do want to get to it. But that is the main reason why the controls in Super Mario World are the way that they are. Usually you have the A and B buttons for your jump, but it's Y and B instead, because those are the two buttons that map to a Famicom. If you could plug it into this unit and it would work, but that got axed, and they made the dog bone controllers instead. So there you go.
Yeah. So but very, very interesting. And there's it's not exactly, but there are lots of adapters that you can buy in Japan that will allow Famicom games to be played through the Super Famicom, but it's cheating. Right. It's a pass through because it has its own AV cables going out to the TV, but it allows the inputs from the Super Famicom controllers, and it can power from the Super Famicom. There's lots of those, and not quite the same, but a lot of people who, especially in Japan where they were saving space, for a time those were fairly popular.
That was basically how the add-on unit was supposed to work. Like you stick your NES card. So I got to be on the camera here. You stick your NES cartridge in there, and then you just you'd run through the Super Famicom. So that I really want to do that episode, but we should probably talk about the Super Famicom first. It's only been 11 years.
I would like to point out that Famicom Dojo has a lot of scripts that have been written that have not been filmed because whenever we're about to film something, we find out something else about something. We're like, we got to make sure we include this, because otherwise some comments are going to be like, why did you leave that out? So whenever we actually do make a video, which we think we're pretty confident on, people immediately tell us how wrong we were.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. All right. Well, if there are no questions coming in from the chat, I'll do one more.
Okay.
I'll do one more from our pre-approved list here. All right. Okay. I'm gonna didn't prepare this one either.
That's fine.
I'm gonna copy that specific line out. There we go. I have an idea of what it means, at least. So all right, we got an email from Hjalmar Ekstrom.
Ooh.
Let me know. Greetings from Sweden, he says. Thank you for a great podcast experience. I have a question for the podcast. We now have Baldur's Gate 3 in early access, and it's been 20 years since Baldur's Gate 2 came out. So I think the early access is probably passed since I got this email. I think this is November I got this. Some games evolve with more frequent entries, such as Final Fantasy series, and some franchises take their time. What franchise or specific game would you like to take a leap into the modern era? I would personally like to see another No One Lives Forever game.
Ooh.
Best Swedish regards, Noir Extreme.
No One Lives Forever. Did you ever play that?
I don't even know what that is.
It was like swinging 60s spy shooter. It was so cool. It was like almost like an Austin Powers like visual style, like just very, very, very cool. 60s spy, and there was 2 games in the series, and I had both of them for my Mac, and I can't play either of them anymore because they were made for PowerPC architecture, and it's pretty much impossible now. And I hear that it's very hard to run the Windows ones too because they were made for like Windows 98. So, oh my goodness, yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry, but to answer the question, Star Tropics. I want to see another Star Tropics game. I want to see What? You don't?
Those are on my pile of shame. I don't even know what they're like.
You can play them on the Switch now. It's part of well, at least the first one.
No,
I would
got my Retron 5 here. It's fine.
I would love to see it.
It's going to be so loud if I move it into the shot.
That is a not pleasant sound. Oh, okay. Unpleasant sound. Loud noises. Sean, make it stop. Make it stop. Whatever happened, you made things bad. Make them not bad. Nothing. We got no sound. Oh, thank goodness. Thank you. No. Okay. Talk.
Okay.
Hello. Yes. Sean, don't ever do anything again. Hold on. Can I talk a bit?
Yeah, I'm good now. I can see my waveform.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Sorry everyone. We didn't lose too many viewers from that.
And then another one that I would love to see. I would love to see something else. A sequel or a remake of the Game Arts classics like Grandia or Lunar.
Grandia remake.
But these are, I don't know how the licensing even works there anymore, but man, right?
Oh.
Think of how nice a Lunar game with like HD visuals, but I still would like 2D or something, but like just really smooth video. I just be wonderful. Just be wonderful.
All right, we did miss a couple of chat questions, so I'm going to hit those quick. We got one from Squid Kitty.
Okay.
Have you heard of Robo Trek for SNES?
I had Robo Trek, and like when I mentioned this game, people are like, there's never been a game like that. You must be misremembering. Perhaps you're thinking of Robotech. And I'm like, no. It was Robo Trek, like Star Trek, but Robo. And it was an interesting little RPG. And I didn't own it. My friend Jonah owned it because he got it really cheap because no one had heard of it. But it's a very cool little game that I should check out again because it's a game I don't think I ever beat, but I was really enjoying it while I played it. Yeah, Robotrek. Loud noises.
All right. Satoshi Matrix also asks, are there any games that are coming out that you guys are excited about?
No.
Yeah.
I don't like video games.
Yeah, I don't like new games.
Aside from the ones that I assume are going to be good just because of their pedigree, I'm looking forward to Bayonetta 3. I'm looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2. Those, but there's not any like concrete details about it. Part of it's that I'm a Nintendo fan and they don't announce things very far in advance for that platform, except for Bayonetta 3 was announced a million years ago.
Right.
But I don't know. To tell you the truth, I'm trying to catch up on the games I missed. A lot of things have been released recently that I didn't get into, that I didn't pick up. And what I'm looking forward to playing right now is Scott Pilgrim.
It's not a new game though.
It's not a new game, but it's new for me.
Right. I have an Xbox 360 copy of that, so I'm glad that my hard drive dying is not going to be such a cause for consternation any longer.
I downloaded the demo of it on PlayStation 3, and I never really got around to buying it, and I missed it. And I was so sad because there was no way I could do it other than perhaps eBaying a system that already had it on. So I'm so happy that it's coming, and I hope it's as good as I think it's going to be because I've been waiting a long time to play this one.
I beat it. I think I brought it over to Phil's place once, or like a bunch of friends, and we all ganged up and beat it. So it's fun.
I want Chrono Trigger back.
Oh,
sorry, going back to that previous. Did you mention one? Sorry, did you mention one that you wanted?
No, okay. There are two. One's a remake and one's a sequel.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to the next Dragon Age. It's been 7 years.
It's been 1 week.
But yeah, and Andromeda. Oh, that's a disappointing sequel.
Yep.
Mass Effect Andromeda put BioWare into dire straits.
Yep. They had before that it was money for nothing and chicks for free, but then wrong dire straits. Sorry.
I made a similar. I shared something on Facebook similarly, and that was all Dire Straits jokes. It was great.
Yep.
Just that one song. No one knows any other Dire Straits song apparently.
I mean, I know some just based from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Man, I'm a nerd. Nerd.
So yeah, I'm excited because Inquisition, which was the third Dragon Age game, teed things up pretty nicely. So I kind of like how that series changes protagonists around, and I think my favorite comment then from the trailer is like Vinnk saying "new friend." So the other game I'm looking forward to is the Myst VR remake. I hope it's not VR only. That's on. Did you ever even open that?
No.
Jesus.
But you know what? My son's super into Legos right now. So soon we are gonna love this. We are gonna love this.
All right.
If super into Legos right now.
If anyone listened to the Pikmin stream just a few days ago, I mentioned how I never played a Lego anything game before that one, and how I actually prefer the mechanics make more sense when you don't have to like swap out physical characters. But
which one are you playing?
It's like a Marvel, like a Lego Marvel 3-pack. It's like superheroes 1 and 2, and there's a third game that his name escapes me. But I had to install those onto my hard drive, and I ran out of space finally. It only took 6 years.
You should play Lego City Undercover. It's really good.
Okay, I've heard that. I've heard that.
Really good, and it's cheap these days. It's really cheap.
Okay, well, thank you for your questions, y'all.
And that question that doesn't work that doesn't work without in a podcast form was Adam Robinson asked me if I'd ever played Lego Dimensions, and I just held up the unopened box.
I see.
So just narrating for you. It's the heart of narrative is
where is it? Where is it? Right there we go.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough. Make sure he was up there.
Yep.
All right. So cool. I think that's it for us then. I just wanted to say thank you for joining us for the stream.
Thank you so much. Sorry we didn't announce it earlier, but we previously kept announcing them, and then they didn't happen. And Sean's like, should I start hyping this up? And I'm like, it might not happen. So look at us entering the streaming age just 10 years late. Look at us.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell. And then I'll be streaming again on Friday. You know, Vinnk's got his Saturday streams whenever he's got a free Saturday,
which is basically very late Saturday night for me. So it would be like Saturday afternoon in the United States and other time. Just adjust. It's usually about 11 o'clock p.m. Japan Standard Time.
Okay, so it's usually like 9 a.m., 8 a.m. then here.
Yep, something like that. So, smash that like button.
Yeah,
is that what the cool kids say?
Yeah, smash it. That's what you do.
Cool cats. The ones with the college degrees, degree cats.
No, you got to drop out of college to be cool.
Oh, I see.
No, that's how it works.
I see. And smash that. If you're listening to this on your Zune,
Jesus.
smash that Zune.
Future retro fall is still continuing.
If your brother is telling you about this podcast, Smash Brothers.
Oh Lord, smash your brother. No, don't smash
your
brother.
I don't like where that went. I'm still feeling bad about just the tentacle. I went for the Cthulhu reference earlier, so I think I gotta be careful here. All right.
Last but not least, please join our Patreon. For those who didn't hear and heard that there was something going on with the screen wave. A lot of people got dropped, including us.
Yes.
So that doesn't affect us terribly. There are some things that we took advantage of that we can't anymore. It's not going to affect us really financially either, so don't worry about that. But we're still going to pimp the Patreon. Because if you like what you're seeing here, we want to do more of this. We want to get that StreamYard logo out of the corner. We want to add more cool overlays. We don't have to though. But if you feel like helping replace our YouTube advertising dollars, because that's volatile as heck, and we're sick of it. So $1 is better than an ad. So any chance you can get, $2 gets you early access to our future retro fall stuff as well. So keep that in mind. For $5, it might get a t-shirt.
Let me put that link in there.
Ooh, yeah.
Because that's what all the cool cats do.
It's patreon.com/Famicom Dojo for those listening.
Famicom Dojo is creating gaming videos? What?
Wow. When did that start?
I know, right?
It started like 2005 or 6 or so. You probably could have made it really big by now.
There you go. There's the link to our Patreon. If you're listening to this on your Zune, too bad. There's no internet connectivity anymore, I don't think so.
Cool.
But that helps us a lot. Or anything else? I think we have a PayPal donate button.
We don't anymore.
We don't anymore. Okay. Well,
PayPal doesn't really encourage donations.
We are not doing this as a job. Oh Lordy. But any support you can give that helps us to get equipment, and it helped us to get enough equipment and things to actually get it working today. So thank you very much. This is all because of viewers like you.
All right. So cool. We'll see you later this week or next podcast or whatever. And I guess until then, the dojo is
live. It's a live podcast.
So good.
Oh dear.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We're gonna end it here.
Okay. And that's where the podcast ends. Should I? Well, I'll leave it. I'll leave the Audacity running for a little bit.
If you have time,
yes,
then we can stick around. But I didn't want to run over.
I have time. I have some time. But this would be the latest I'd be able to start it. So.
Okay.
But are you okay?
I am okay for a little bit.
Okay, I'm just gonna let's hang out.
It's fun to hang out.
I should definitely get some orders shipped out at some point today. But it's okay. The post office is open till 5, and I've been packing up orders this morning. Thanks everyone. Oh yeah, I have a store.
Yes. Should have pimped that during the show.
Yeah, I should have pimped it during the show. That's okay. Pimping it during the after party. This is the after party right now.
Oh yeah.
You guys are the cool cats who stuck around for the after party. Saru, thank you so much for popping in. That's great. Thank you so much. And for all the people who joined from that channel, thanks so much. The ending was so worth it. Oh, good. Oosh. But been playing anything this week, Sean?
Like I mentioned, I was playing Willow. I Donkey Kong's Crash Course. Been preparing that for the stream as well. I missed the Splatfest. My kids got to play Splatoon 2. I did not. But that's what counts, right?
Yeah.
So excuse me.
My daughter picked up Scribble Knots. Do you remember that game? The one
Oh
where
yeah, I
and
do.
the
Got that for
there's
DS.
a deal right now, like it's Scribble Knots Unlimited plus the DC Comics Scribble Knots, both
Oh,
together in a pack for $10.
oh
Yeah. So on the
wow.
eShop. So she likes DC stuff because she's watching Teen Titans Go.
Mhm.
So
So I have to watch them.
yep.
I started watching Titans instead. Mm, Not sure how I feel about it.
I don't know. Yeah, you should watch Teen Titans Go. You
To,
would
to, what?
you would enjoy it.
Oh,
You would
I'm gonna
enjoy it.
highlight this one. Tony says more scripted videos.
No.
um, about that though.
Yeah.
There was a script you told me you were writing that I haven't gotten to see yet. I would love to see that.
Oh, I didn't show you any of it. It's
Didn't tell me
almost
any of
done.
it.
It's
Okay.
almost done. It is. Should I have a big reveal? Big reveal.
Yeah, tease it.
All right. It's a sequel to one of our most popular episodes, the Neo Geo affair, and it's talking about further indiscretions.
Oh man.
It's a sequel. Years later, about steamy. It's a steamy sequel years later, and just like other things, there's no Samantha. No. Okay, Sex in the City's coming back, but it's not gonna have.
Oh,
It's not gonna
no,
have
no,
Samantha.
no, no.
It's all right. No,
Well, of
too
course
deep,
not.
too deep of a cuts. You can call me Cuts Man.
Please don't call him Cuts Man.
Call me Cuts Man. Call me Ishmael.
No, I'm excited for this.
All right.
That's good stuff. I got one from Satoshi here. I'm gonna grab that one too. I don't know if I've even seen the Willow arcade
There's an
game.
arcade Willow game. As you can see, I have not played it.
I know that I like the arcade version of Ninja Turtles better than the NES port of it.
Yeah.
It was,
Well, I
it was
mean,
nice to
it
have,
was.
but
The NES game was very ambitious for what it
oh
did.
yes,
It's
oh
just
yes.
it's unfortunate that the SNK wasn't able to. The Konami was supporting the Neo Geo. They probably could have made a fairly arcade perfect version of it for that system.
Mhm.
But
But
I
no,
thought
we got Turtles 4 instead.
Turtles 4 was good too.
I know, but
What?
it's not
Turtles
the
in Time? Turtles in Time.
it's a good game and it's the same style obviously, but
Yeah.
it's just something about your
Well,
first one, you know? Is
didn't care so much for Turtles 3 The Manhattan Project, but I didn't really play it that much, but yeah.
we had a comment on YouTube actually
Yeah.
about the Neo Geo um the price of all the stuff having shot up so much. It wasn't on the Discord. I can't remember where we saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it'll be fun to revisit the shop, I guess.
Yeah.
Assuming you're going to visit, can you even, or is it
What?
closed?
What?
The
Famicom
actual
Dojo?
Famicom Dojo store, is it closed right now?
It's open, but I'm nervous to go there because
Okay, fair.
I the lady's 90 and you know I'm worried I'm gonna bring something into it. It is open, and I'll occasionally go like wearing a mask and stuff like that. But I'm nervous because I can't quarantine due to my job, so
Sure.
I'm just worried about. And like she wants to see the kids and everything, but they're going to school. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
right
It's
there. That stinks.
If it was just Hero, if I knew it was just going to be Hero there, he's younger, but I feel I don't want to bring anything into
Okay.
there. I almost stopped in yesterday.
Mhm.
I saw it was open. But yeah, but yeah, it's still open. Japan's not as bad as other places, but
No.
it's getting bad though.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've been seeing those emergency
yeah,
declarations and
yeah.
whatnot. So that's fun. Yeah.
Wait, hold the phone here.
Yes.
Sarumaru says that the game that I was holding up earlier, the FX Unit Yuki, is going to be ported to the Switch. I don't know. There's
Cool.
something about playing it on the PC Engine though. That's
I
the
mean, I have both those
hip,
systems, so
hipster
I'll do
cool,
either.
but that's neat. That's neat.
I should ask Ben Heck if he can make me a portable PC Engine.
Nah,
No, probably not.
I mean that'd be so expensive too. Just.
Right.
And this is a CD game, and there was a portable PC Engine. It was called the PC Engine GT.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like the Sega Nomad in that had terrible battery life and was huge.
Hmm.
Yeah.
This is so exciting. We're here.
I know, right?
So excited.
And I just can't hide it.
Who wants to? Here, I'm going to hold this up. I was going to wait for the actual stream, but I found these Willow codes. I forgot it was not a battery backup game and it was a password system. There's also a Contra one in there too.
Did you write that?
I wrote that. That would be about 9 or 10-year-old me. I have the booklet too. Yeah.
There you go.
Good stuff.
I find when I mean I buy tons of used games, and occasionally I find maps and codes and things like that in there. It's very cute. What did I have recently?
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Yep, I had a copy of Mario Kart, and it written in pen on the side of the game. It said like Shota's Mario Kart, and I'm like, good to know. It's right on the side, so you can find it really easy. Yeah. Sorry,
I mean,
go ahead.
that was helpful for me when I was younger, when people would borrow my stuff and not give it back. Anyway, I see they're talking about the Willow arcade game in the chat yet, and apparently, so Capcom also made the arcade version because the NES version, the action RPG version, is also a Capcom game.
I had a friend who was so into that game.
It's a good game.
He wrote fan fiction based on it for our school project. Was you were supposed to like write a story, and he just wrote based off that game, and I was like, and I'm like, have you watched the movie? And he's like, no, I've never seen the movie. It's just interesting that the licensed game was. Oh man, Capcom made such good licensed games back then.
You know, Capcom made one of my favorite Zelda games too.
Satoshi Matrix asks, maybe you can bring this one up. How common is it to find games with names written on them? Really common. Really common. Yeah. And I don't know what to do with that, because, I mean, it definitely, from a collector's perspective, devalues the game, but from a player's perspective, it doesn't really do anything, and it kind of shows you that the game was loved. You know what I mean? But a lot, yeah, especially old Famicom games. I could probably pull a stack of random 10 games on probably, I don't know.
Excuse me.
So it came across a name right there. They often on the back label. Here's another one. Some HT, whatever that stands for. Yeah, this is just 7 carts I just pulled randomly, and 2 of them had. So pretty common. When I sell them on my store, I put them at a discount, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't devalue the game. I mean, the experience you have playing it, but yeah, I know from an aesthetic perspective, it's just like you find a lot of like Famicoms and Super Famicoms that have stickers all over them because people would decorate them.
Yeah.
I had put stickers over my controllers back because Nintendo Power included these overlay stickers, and I put them on, and they were almost impossible to take off. Which,
that's quality. That's
it was a good overlay.
That's the powers of podcast, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
The physical's better. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got the clamshell Scott Pilgrim game. There's no reason to spend 20 extra bucks on it, but I did.
There's definitely less reason for the one that I'm considering, the KO edition. That's the $130. It's not the $400 edition. It's the
that $400 one is nuts.
That is ridiculous.
You want a vinyl album? Why not?
And like 3 T-shirts, it's like I'll wear them all at once, But I don't know. I like the idea of. I don't know. I haven't bought any of them yet because I'm still trying to consider. But it'll be either the clamshell version or the KO. I don't know. It's quite a bit to spend on a game that I have not played, other than the demo. But I really like Scott Pilgrim in general as a series. So,
did you ever read the comics?
I read the first of the first 2 novel compilations that I picked up when I was in the United States. But when I was reading them, it hadn't been finished yet, and I never got around to. Are they all? I wonder if they're all like compiled in something easy to buy.
Oops. Yeah. It'd be really. It's like 7 volumes, I think, because they were all released as graphic novels in the first place.
I wonder if they're released at a reasonable price digitally.
Probably. I bought.
I'll have to look into it.
For, 9 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah.
Maybe 10. I got them like a month at a time because they weren't expensive, but I had a pretty expensive comic habit at the time, and I couldn't justify that huge of a jump.
Yeah.
Although, I think the comic got finished around or a little after the movie did.
I think it got finished. Yeah, basically the time the movie ended, but the producers wrote 2 endings to the movie because they weren't sure how the comic would finish. So there's the Knives ending and there's the other one, the one they actually used.
Yeah, that doesn't make as much sense in the movie.
What do you mean?
The Knives end doesn't make as much sense in the movie.
Have you watched the Knives ending?
Yeah.
It doesn't really make a lot. It seems a little out of character. They say that it's because they didn't know how the book was going to end, but frankly, I think it's just like to appeal to the Knives fans.
Well,
I'm a Knives fan. She was very nice to him.
She was too good for him.
And she's much crazier in the comic though. So but the Knives as portrayed in the movie seem to be a better match than, I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. That's for a different podcast.
Okay, fair enough. Let's just say that the comic does end differently, and there are lots of other many varied differences. Yeah. I meant to ask you, you've been watching. Yep. Are you able to even watch WandaVision?
Disney Plus exists in Japan, but all of my devices are set up with US accounts. So my Apple TV has a US account. I could buy Disney Plus, but I'd really only be able to watch it on my computer.
Oh.
And and I could stream from my computer to the Apple TV, but I don't know. Like, Netflix is so wonderful because you buy a subscription and it's like, okay, you're in Japan right now. Here's Netflix Japan. Oh, you're in America right now. Here's but Disney Plus has they have different partners in different countries. So it's not one account to unite them all. It's, I could sign up for the Japanese service, but then I wouldn't be able to watch from my phone. I wouldn't be able to watch from my Apple TV. So
okay.
I don't know, but I want to. I really do. There's a lot of stuff on Disney Plus that I really want to watch. So
if you ever do you have Apple Plus still? Or
yeah. I'm still
watch Ted Lasso.
I'm the one who told you to watch Ted Lasso.
You really?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me that?
When we were discussing the other podcast that we were secretly doing. Whoops. That out loud. No, look through your chat history. I said it's a sports show, so you might You might think you don't want to watch it, but watch it. It's really good. And I said it's really positive, and it's what we need right now.
Jesus, I'm so embarrassed.
And then I get a message from you, and you're like, I watched Ted Lasso. You should watch it. And I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'll answer this last question, and I'm going to bounce.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Tony wants to know if there will be the video on demand version of this after stream. Yes, it takes several hours though.
Yeah, it'll be a little while, but
you can't just run it back. But it will be available, and you will enjoy it, and I will enjoy it, and there'll be chapters too, so you can skip to the different parts, including this part.
Okay. Vinnk can't use VPN for Disney Plus on another device? Possibly.
Okay.
Don't know how. Like, I don't know how to set up VPN for an Apple TV. I'm sure it's possible. Anyway, I think this is probably where we should wrap up for this evening.
Okay.
So thank you, everyone, for sticking around to the after show. You rock.
Yeah. We'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye. How do I end?
I will end.
Okay.